Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. 5:34 a.m. I wanted to start at exactly 5:30, but I didn't make it. For various reasons, like trying to get the right song for Rock and Roll Club. Anyway, we've got Buchanan's Deluxe blended Scotch whiskey, aged 12 years. Okay. It's been on the market a long time. Got the pretty back. This is a 375 milliliter bottle, but what was it, 1882? Can't remember. I put it in the notes. This is a Diageo brand now. Not sold in Canada, apparently. Popular down in Latin America. It's extremely corrupt in Latin America. You say, oh, that's politically incorrect. Well, it's the truth. And that's why they have this special pourer. You can pour out, but you can't pour in because it's so corrupt, like I say, so infused with criminality that you have people that will dump out the Buchanans and replace it with, they'll save the Buchanans, of course, but they'll replace the Buchanans with some kind of a inferior Scotch and try to sell it as Buchanan. So the company, to deal with that, put this pour. They have that same problem in India. You say corruption in India? That can't be true. Not India. No, not India. See what I mean? Like it doesn't even immediately start to pour. So it's splashed everywhere. Kind of messy, huh? But that's the only way to get it out. And it has a special shroud, like inside. When you open it, the plastic pops out. That's how you know it's not been tampered with. Oh, well. We have Clan MacGregor going up against it. This has been on the market since the 1930s. It's owned by William Grant Company. That's a family-owned company. No shroud, no special pour. You say nobody's going to try to replace Clan MacGregor with something else. Well, that's probably true. It's a discount brand, always has been. It's bottled in the United States, in New Jersey. It's shipped over here. Lots of the more inexpensive scotches are shipped to America and then bottled here. Bottled by Alexander MacGregor and Company, Edison, New Jersey. Age 3 years. 3 versus 12. I think it should be easy, right? 3 years versus 12 years should be easy. Shouldn't be much of a taste challenge. It says, they're all gonna say these things. Wonderful combination of flavors. Expert blending of specially selected Scotch whiskeys of the finest quality. Oh yeah. I mean, you can get Rockdale ice from Walmart that on the label might talk about how wonderful it is. Oh, please, I never want to revisit that. That was once was enough. This is a nice paper here. It's almost like an old book, the paper. on this Buchanan's. I'd like to get a big bottle. They have it at Walmart, the big bottles. They're about $34, $35 though. This label's kind of nice too. It's sort of a matte finish and then some kind of foil gold. Okay, if you get on the Diageo website called thebar.com, there's a link. There's a good write-up about Buchanan's and all the different ones, the 12-year, and then there's more expensive ones. And then there's a link to their own website, and they sponsor this tournament or whatever, you know. Okay. I guess that's about even on the amount. I want to make sure that I remember when I first started getting into whiskey, I was into brandy, but then people, they kept saying, I don't want, you know, why you got to do brandy, you know? That was the main comments I would get. Why don't you do whiskey? 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 I said, oh, well. I mean, I didn't care either way. Brandy, whiskey didn't matter to me. I just thought brandy, cognac would be interesting. And I'll probably still do one a year, you know, but, and I had no opposition to whiskey. It was just another liquor. But when all my comments kept being, when are you going to do whiskey? I just said, heck, I'll try. I knew if I try one, I'm going to try them all. You know what's going to happen. Then brandy's going to get put on the back burner. But anyway, there was a lot more interest in brandy. So, well, the Clan MacGregor's lighter. These Scotch whiskeys can add caramel color. They don't have to disclose it, so you don't really know if it's dark because of the wood or if it's dark because of the coloring. This one's gold and that one's more straw, Clan MacGregor. The barrels they use, I was listening to these guys talk when I was on the distillery tour in Lynchburg, Tennessee, and they were saying, well, the Scotch, they'll use barrels for 100 years. You know, Jack Daniels, they use it only once, the first run barrel, you know, because it's bourbon, so it's got to be an unused charred oak. But they don't throw the barrels away. They either sell them, actually, to make those big planters. That's not really used anymore because now it's gotten so, that's not really the use anymore because it's gotten so popular for aging beer, aging wine, or they'll ship the barrels up to Canada and age their Canadian Mist in it. Because Canadian Mist and Jack Daniels both owned by the same people, Brown-Forman. People that started Old Forester, Old Forester. So, or they'll sell them to Scotch producers and they'll use the barrels up to like 100 years, maybe longer than 100 years. So the char is going to, you know, that's going to not be a factor after 90 years, I'm pretty sure. But they just want that wood, you know, so. And they talked about that on the Canadian Mist video. I've seen a number of them. And they were saying, well, it's like if you make tea and then you reuse the bag, you know, the second time you make the tea, it's not going to be as strong as the first. It's going to be pretty watered down. And that was the hope. They said that's the idea behind Canadian Mist, that it would intentionally taste watered down. And the used barrels help that. And you say, why would they intentionally make something watered down? They said, well, because a lot of people like that kind of whiskey and they're put off by the strong char aromas and everything and taste. And that it's good for making mixed drinks because it just is an alcohol base. And then you could make all kind of mixtures and it doesn't really interfere with it. Well, it must have been a successful formula because it's been selling for 51 years and does okay. Canadian whiskey's kind of down right now. They were talking about it's not too popular, but they said they don't panic over that because it goes in trends, you know, and it'll get popular later because they said bourbon whiskey was down, you know, years ago, and then it just spiked in popularity starting in the late 80s, and they said, well, when that kind of goes. It just does that. Then vodka will get popular. Gin, everything about gin. Or scotch, which is popular today, the single malt. Okay, well, anyway, I would assume that I'll be able to tell these apart because 12 years aged over 3, you would think, plus Buchanan's is more expensive. How much was the bottle of Clan MacGregor? It was like $9.79 at Walmart, $9.79. But now they dropped it to $8.50. $8.50 versus 34. Let's say $34 a bottle versus $8.50 a bottle. You would assume that the $34 bottle is going to be a lot more exquisite, flavorful, bold, etc. And now I'm going to get started, but I remember when I first started hearing about scotch, I'd never tried it. I mean, I wasn't against it. I was indifferent to it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that's scotch, big deal. But I wasn't putting it down. I just didn't impress me or make an impression on me. And people were telling me, oh, you're probably not going to like that because I remember hearing people saying, ugh, yuck. I didn't know why they said it. I thought, And some people telling me, you're not going to like it because it's got this strong, peaty, smoky flavor. But I was thinking, well, wait, I'd probably like that because I eat smoked meat a lot. Smoked sausage, why wouldn't I like it? I like the smoked beers. I wouldn't make a habit of drinking those. Those tend to, the smoke seems to affect the beer even more, and then it ends up tasting like smoked pork. Good to eat. I don't know about drinking it. You know, it's like drinking smoked pork flavored beverage. So, you know, but the scotch is like this subtle smokiness, which is nice, and I always enjoy it, and I haven't gotten tired of it. Okay, here we go. Now, when I first tried scotch, it threw me a bit. I wasn't used to it. And I thought that the glasses had some kind of residue from old wood on them or something. And I told my daughter, your glasses must have gotten tainted by your cabinets as far as the aroma. She said, what are you talking about? But I realized, oh, that's the way the product smells. Okay, so I had to get used to it. I wasn't disliking it. I just was confused. You understand? Okay. Okay. I'm going to describe them in a moment. I don't want to get oh, damn. Excuse me. I glanced. Yeah, I think that amber versus that straw, that deep gold versus straw is too noticeable. So if you just glance down, you say, uh-oh. And I'm not here to cheat. I mean, I could cheat. There's a way I could devise a cheating method and I could get it right every time. And people would say, what an expert. I mean, it's incredible. But then people would start to say, something's up. He's cheating. I have no reason to cheat. I have no interest in cheating. I used to play board games with friends and they would cheat, some of them. And they'd say, I won. I say, you didn't really win. I mean, why would you even be proud of that? You couldn't win on your own merits. You had to cheat. It's like you didn't win. I had a friend that would collect comic books with me, or if you want to say collect, steal. And he was bragging, I stole Conan #1. I said, you'll never go to a comic book shop with me again, and you'll never ride in this car. I said, because I had business relationship with these people. I have a good relationship, and you're a thief and a criminal. I said, no. I've never dealt with that guy again, ever. And I was thinking, why would you be proud of that? Look at my collection. Yeah, you stole it. Well, big deal. Okay, anyway. Seems like people should have integrity. It's like when people were making me mad when they were saying I was going around begging beer companies for free beer. So I could give them a high score and get free beer. And I said, I can prove to you I told this to Tom the Beer Whisperer. I said, I can prove to you that the people approached me. I got the emails. You want to see the emails? Oh, I don't want to hear your propaganda. I don't want to. I said, what are you talking about, propaganda? I'll even give you the people's phone number. You can call them and ask them. Oh, no, you don't want to hear it. Okay. I don't know why they were saying all that. They were like, and his friends, one of his internet compadres saying, I find it hard to believe that the brewery contacted you. I said, well, here's the guy's email. You want to read the emails? No, they don't want to hear it. See, because you want to create your own narrative. And then then they threw me out of their group, and then they start talking bad about me. Jay this, Jay that, Ronald this, Ronald that. Well, then, of course, I can't respond. So there's no rebuttal. So that's what I mean. Create your own narrative where you can talk about the person, and the people reading it think, oh, this is terrible. It's horrible. He must be a terrible person. And then you don't let the person have any rebuttal, you see. So they can't say, no, here's the facts. This is what's really going on. These people contacted me. Here's the emails. See, I wouldn't do that. I would say, here's the open forum. In my opinion, if I'm saying a beer reviewer does this or a beer reviewer does that or a liquor reviewer does this or that, if I'm saying that, I'm going to say, here's the open forum. You can come on air with me and we'll talk it out and you can show me where I'm wrong. But people don't usually do that. They say, oh, no, I'm not. Well, why wouldn't you do it? I'm giving you an open forum. You have open forum to rebut, to debate, to show your side. You know, but this business about I'm going to establish a narrative and there's no counterpoint. Oh, I can't deal with that. You know, I do the political and history videos, right? They're solo because I never actually had anybody that seemed interested in joining except James Marshall once. He mainly just listened, you know. But the whole concept when I do those videos is that you have a counterpoint. You can bring up a point and say, look, no, I think you're wrong about such and such political issue, and here's why. Unfortunately, a lot of the people that disagree, they won't debate the issue. You know, they just make a comment on my video like, you know, you SS idiot, you know, you son of a, you know what, or whatever. And I'm thinking, well, that's not debating. You know, calling somebody a name is not proving your point. And the same applies to liquor and beer and wine. And I don't know why that gets people angry. And I've had bad experiences with people in the, not most people, but people in the beer, wine, and liquor tasting world where if you challenge a contention, they get angry, but you're just challenging a contention. And then Greenleaf said he wasn't going to comment anymore because he had to walk on eggshells. And he said, but cheers to you, you know. And I said, well, cheers back to you. I never told him he couldn't comment. I never banned. If I was trying to shut down commentary, I would just ban him. Like he said, Greg did that to him. And I told him, I said, it's not the fact that you're doing point counterpoint. It's the tone. It's accusatory. It's not, hey, well, this is my idea about it. It's like you are this, you are that, you are a hypocrite, you are a liar, you are a bastard sort of approach. And I think that's not a good, because it's really not so much the debate, it's more of the attack. And that's all I'm saying. Somebody got angry with me in a hangout because I asked him why his score was so low for a beer. I said, I don't know how you could say the beer is 57. What was it like? You're saying the beer is 55% bad, but yet you would drink it on a regular basis as a standby beer. I said, would you eat food that was 55% bad? And I don't think he took that too well. I was just asking a question. It seems strange to me that somebody would say that a beer they drank was 55% bad, but yet they would drink it. I wouldn't drink it. Don't think Buchanan and Clan-MacGregor is a fair fight. 3-year-old versus 12-year-old is considered one of the top blended scotches. Clan-MacGregor is a bar scotch, says Robert. Well, let's see. I'm blabbing on about, which I think is an important thing to blab on about, because the whole point of the videos, in my opinion, in my mind, the whole point of the videos is to discuss it. It's not just, oh, look at me, I'm making videos. I'm making reviews, buy my t-shirts, buy my caps. You know, like, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook so I can build my brand and have an enterprise here. I don't do that game. That's not me. You never see me hawking t-shirts or bottle cap openers on here. Okay, so it's smoky. It's sweet, a little, what you say, grain base. Uh-oh. I'm not saying that bad, but it must be Clan MacGregor, right? Because it's just so low profile. Nice, but low profile. This one has a lot more richness, a heavier smoke quality, a lot heavier smoky quality. And it's just the grain is richer. I know they use, and the malt is richer. I know they're using grain whiskey, and I know they're using grain whiskey, but it's just better stuff. And that's what Robert's talking about. It's not a fair fight. Yeah, I said that right off the bat with this video. It wasn't going to be much of a challenge. There's an alcohol burn, but it's pleasant. It's pleasant. Okay, let's go with the taste. Yeah, but back to that, all that discussion stuff and the point counterpoint. I never get offended. I really don't. I get aggravated. You see, the aggravated is not the same as offended. Or like say I get irritated, like if somebody blocks me and then they'll start talking about me. It's irritating because it's like, no, you create your own narrative. It's not a true discussion. That's what I'm saying. I'm not angry necessarily. I just think it's stupid, you know. And when I ran into trouble with these chaps on Facebook, various ones, it's the same thing. And I told them last week, I said, don't talk to my face. You know, don't talk to me in my face as a friend and everything's hunky-dory and we're just big buddies. And then I find out, I get alerts that you're talking nasty about me behind my back. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it to you. If you got something to say, tell me. I even said, curse me to my face. I'd rather that, you know. I'd rather somebody curse me to my face and say, I hate you and all these. I mean, I wouldn't want them to say it, but I would rather them to do that than to play nice and then behind my back talking dog and trash. I don't like it. It's wrong. And I get alerts about it. They'll say, you know what's going on? And I'll say, uh-huh. And then when I confront the guys, oh, then they're at a loss for words. Oh, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to block you. I'm not talking to you anymore. Well, you can do that. You can take the weak man's route if you'd like, but I don't play it that way. Sorry, can't do it. Can't help you. Can't help you. Don't be a twit. That's my attitude. And I don't think it's a bad attitude to have. I don't think it's a bad attitude to ask people to be upfront and honest. Don't know why that's, you know, don't be a worm. Don't be a, what are guys, somebody else said, don't be a weasel. Right. Don't be a weasel. Okay. Well, honestly, you know, we're talking about high quality versus low quality, but I'm not tasting a big. Clan MacGregor came out in the 1970s as a U.S. only bar scotch. No, I've got ads going back to the 1930s. Yes, it's been on the market, I think, since 1934. So it's an old brand. You can look at old magazine ads from way before the 70s. Now, I never said it was anything great, but it's not just some new Johnny come lately. Buchanan's came out in 1884. That's right. I thought it was 84. It was the premium version of Black and White, which was famous for being Franklin Roosevelt's favorite scotch. Interesting. I want to try that Black and White. I know where to get it. Okay, let's get serious now. Well, I've been serious, but let's get on. Let's focus. Yeah, this one over here in my right hand, I'm trying not to look so hard. I'm trying so bad not to. It's like a waxiness. I noticed some of these scotches and Canadian whiskeys, not to mention Irish, they'll have like a waxy, it's a strange sensation and taste or savoriness, or that, you know, like beer reviewers, when they're trying to be fancy, they'll say umami. But it is sort of like that, like a honeycomb wax thing. It's odd. Okay. You see now, this one in my left hand, you're right, to your right. But the smoke is shining through more than that waxy sensation, that honeycomb. Now, uh-oh. I don't think so. I remember when Grant's introduced Clan MacGregor, it was mid-1970s. I can give you a trademark. I'm going to, at the end of this, I'm going to show you some trademark information, okay? And then I can even give you some ad links. And it'd be dated like 1948, 1943, stuff like that. Yeah, it's old. It's been around a long time. I'm telling you, this one here in my right hand has more. It has more corn sweetness, like that malt, that grain whiskey thing. Uh-oh, you're from the South, huh? Yeah. Howdy. I've actually had some people that don't like me because I'm from the South, like literally. They'd be from they look down on me like, you talk funny. You're from the South. You're ignorant. I mean, I know I play that Southern man character sometimes with people. That's a Southern kind of thing that people do around here. But that's just so that they'll actually think they're dealing with an idiot and they'll say too much. You know what I mean? Like they'll kind of overreach. And I'll say, oh, okay. You know, that's sort of like a setup, you know, that dumb Southern man strategy. If you watch the movie The Horse Soldiers, it was that woman used that, whatever, the blonde, you know, attractive lady that was kidnapped by the Yankees. But she used that strategy to get information from them. She played that dumb, hospitable Southern lady character. And they all fell for it, except for William Holden. You know, he didn't fall for it. But she almost had them set up. And, of course, she was going to have them all, you know, they were going to be all shot and killed for their trespassing on her property and invasion. And then once the jig was up and they grabbed her, and she said, then there was no need to put on the show. And she said, what, you thought I wasn't going to try to have all you scoundrels shot and killed, you animals? She said, they said, oh, but they got her before she could put the information out so they could come, what, you know, she was trying to find out, you know, so she could have the Confederate forces come in and fix them up. But that's a great scene in that movie because she's using that same sort of approach. A lot of people fall for that, you know, like they'll come visit down here and they'll be like, oh, y'all are so friendly. And I'm like, you don't pick that up when you're at the restaurant, that the waitress is really trying to, she's all that hi y'all and baby stuff is really like information gathering to a large extent. They're trying to check you out more than just be friendly. But anyway, I don't want to get into all of that. There's smokiness, but I don't know, it's got like a strong grain. I'm talking a lot because I'm trying to think on this. It's got me really. Blended Scotch is a blend of Highland Scotch, Ensign, Campbelltown Scotch, Lowland Scotch, and grain whiskey. Right, but it's predominantly grain whiskey, right, Robert? It's like, you know, they're using mostly filler, right? Column still filler. And then the flavor, the good flavors are coming from that pot still, like you're talking about the single malt whiskeys. And other people will rather only drink the single malt, because then you get the purified, the more richer barley whiskey is, instead of just the corn filler. It's the same concept with the Canadian blended, American blended, and the American adjunct lagers when you talk about beer. That's why it's inexpensive, because you got these fillers. I mean, there's only that's the logic behind it, All right. That's why all malt, that's why Michelob, which is all barley malt, tastes better than Budweiser, which is using rice grain as a filler. I mean, barley just has although some of these all barley beers, they'd be a little harsh. They'll have that barley burn I talk about. And it's like, maybe they could have used some corn or rice to smooth it out. Yeah. I'm telling you, this one in my left hand is much more smokier. I'm sorry. If it's the Clan MacGregor and it's smokier than the Buchanan's, I'm sorry. I can't testify otherwise. There's the smoky peatiness fades fast on this one. This one's just got, like, I hate to say it, it's like the American blended whiskeys in a lot of the bourbon. It all come down to that once you start reducing the fraction right, when you reduce it down to where you can't reduce it anymore, it comes down to corn grits. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this tastes like grits, and I've had enough grits in my life. Smoky just means more Ensign Scotch. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha, Robert. All right. Okay, I'm going to call it, and I'm not too confident. I'm a little confused right now. Little confused. I think this is the Clan MacGregor in my left hand, but I'm not entirely confident in that. Well, that's a problem right there now. You say, well, there's the problem, because you drink in a $34 bottle versus an $8.50 bottle, and you can't quite tell the difference. I know. I'm saying the same thing in my head. I mean, rationally, I'm thinking, well, of course I'll buy the Buchanan's. It's 4 times better. Why wouldn't I buy it? But I'm doing blind, and I'm not picking that up. And that might upset some people. These little tasting adventures are not meant to upset anybody. It's just like, here I'm riding in this buggy, and you can ride with me, even though I'm driving. You can ride along with me, because I could just do this off air, right? But I'm doing it on air because I figured people might find it interesting to do these blind taste challenges. In fact, you can sit up front with me if you come on air with me and do the taste challenges alongside me. Most people say, well, hell, I'm not doing it at 5:30 in the morning. I understand that, because I got to do some cleaning here. I got to go. Actually, I'm going shopping for a wheat beer because they want to do a hangout Friday for wheat beers. Gang is not working out. They want to do a hangout about Gang beers Wednesday night. I told Eric Fraunfelter yesterday, I said, heck, I can't find Gang. Gang used to be as common as Welch's grape jelly around here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. Now, you might see it somewhere. The Game of Thrones beers were around, but they were expensive and they didn't last. And I didn't hear a lot of good feedback on those. Mathern's doesn't sell Gang. And believe me, Mathern's will sell anything if it sells. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't care. I don't mean they don't care about their quality and all that. I mean, they don't care what's on the shelf as long as people are buying it. You know what I'm saying? They're not political about the beers. If you want to buy it, they'll keep stocking it. But once it starts going out of date and people aren't buying it, that ain't going to work. There's no sense in that. I can't blame them. I wouldn't sell it either if I couldn't get rid of it. And I used to see Gang everywhere. Rare Voss, Hennepin, all that stuff. Same thing with Southern Tier. But now, you say, well, Louisiana is a small state, 4 million people. You think everything's going to be down there? No, I don't think it's going to be down here. So it's hard for me to review everything with everybody. Louisiana local brands have been pushing everything off the shelf, and most people can't get those. So good grief, the smokiness is residual on the glass. Not here. Oh, I can't. I'm so confused right now. Okay, I'm going to say Clan MacGregor, and if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong. Good, I'm wrong. That's Buchanan's Deluxe. That's Clan MacGregor. Okay, so yeah, I didn't look. Yeah, this one here, the Clan MacGregor is just so grain based. Not bad. I eat grits. I don't dislike grits, you know, corn, you know, I don't, but it's so grain based. The smokiness just like, whoop, it's gone. But the Buchanan's retain so much richer, peaty, smoky, depth of character, depth of flavor. So, well, I guess I would get the Buchanan's over the Clan MacGregor. It really is worth $34 compared to $8.50. Am I saying Clan MacGregor's bad? No. But what do you think you're going to get when you're spending $8.50 a bottle? You're not going to pay Chevrolet Cruze prices and get an Escalade. You know what I'm saying? And of course, Buchanan's Deluxe 12 years far from an Escalade. You know, it's more like a Malibu type LT, whatever they call it now, LT luxury. You know. All right, try Schneider Weiss for a wheat beer. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Can't get it around here. I'm not going all the way to Metairie to get it. I know that much. No, I'll probably be stuck with Blue Moon. But that's okay because I don't really like wheat beers anyway. Even the really good ones, they're good. I still don't really like them, you know. But obviously they're better. But I'm not ripping on Blue Moon. It's just so ordinary, you know. But Shock Top, I'll probably just try to get that. Gang, that's looking terrible. I'm just not going to be able to join them Wednesday. I'll just have to sit here, and watch the College World Series. Well, I don't mind that. Got rained out last night. Okay, so let's see here. Clan MacGregor. William Grant and Sons. Okay. Okay, first use anywhere. The first time they ever used this trademark was in 1936. Don't have the month and the date. They don't have the month and the day, but they got the year, 1936. Thought so. It's the 10th new owner entered after registration. Party name, Proper Morrison Corporation. Trademark owner history, William Grant and Sons. Proper Morrison. Now, William Grant might have bought it and you know what I mean? Like reintroduced it in the 70s, so to speak. That's what happened with what's the name of this stuff? Meisterbrow. Remember, Meisterbrow was a independent company owned by Gettleman Brewing. They got bought out by Miller. The Meisterbrow went defunct in 78, but then Miller decided 6 years later, well, we should, 5 years later, excuse me, 5 years later, we need to bring it back and we're going to revamp it, make it a little better. And so they had what you call a reintroduction in 1983, Meisterbrow, which initially was successful, but over the years slowly died out. So that could be the case with Clan MacGregor. Clan MacGregor Scotch advertisement. Oh yeah, yeah, Clan MacGregor. I typed in Clam MacGregor. No, there's no clams MacGregor. Okay. Let's see. I was trying to find some nice big pictures. Nah, I don't really have that. There's a lot of other. Oh, there's Buchanan's. How about that? All right, let's see. Let's go with any size. Why pay more? There's none better. Clan MacGregor. Rare Scotch. Yeah, it's so rare you can get it at Walmart. You know, that's how rare it is. 1964. This is New York Times Magazine, 1964, September 2nd. Well, it's a good deal before the 70s. Yeah, why pay more? There's none better. Clan MacGregor, rare Scotch. Only $4.99 a bottle. Just think about that. It hasn't even doubled in price. A full quart, $6.19. It's light and smooth. Agree with that. Truly, there's none better. I don't know what they're talking about. None better. Now you see, it's not William Grant. It says distilled and blended in Scotland, imported by Popper Morrison Corporation. Popper Morrison Corporation. Oh, 80 proof. You see what happened? They sold it to William Grant at some point, and they revamped it and came out with that. Okay, so there's the answer. That's why you remember in the 70s that they came out with it. William Grant gobbled it up. If we charge more, everyone would buy it. Let's look at this one. Let's check this ad out. If we charge more, everyone would buy it. Sad but true. Too many Scotch drinkers put their trust in high price and rich-looking label. Well, you might ask, who are these Clan MacGregor people? We're an old family-owned distillery, one of Scotland's largest. We ship Clan MacGregor in barrels, hold down the price, and blah, blah, blah. Bottle it in America. No, that's an old, and that's Popper Morrison Corporation. So that's an old ad there. See, Robert and I are talking about this. He's not cursing me. He's not telling me he hates me. He's not going to block me. So that's how you learn. You open-minded. You research. You don't act like you know everything. I don't act like I know everything. I certainly do not know everything. Far from it. I know some things. And that's not due to any kind of genius. It's just because I studied, I read. Somebody asked me that 2 days ago. How does a old Louisiana boy know so much about history? I said, studying, that's how. I mean, anybody can study and learn. Here's one from 1968. Bridgeport Post newspaper, March 12th, 1968. Well, there you go. Another little ad, Clan. Glamorous offer, excellent, cozy. You know those things you put keep the beer cold, cozy, or people call them koozies. But it's really cozy, right? It keeps it cozy and not warm, but cool. But they would send you a cozy with it. Oh well. Oh well. So yeah, it's been around 82 years. 82 years. You might say, yeah, you mean it's been lurking on the bottom shelf and in the bar well for 82 years. Well, yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about. It's been in existence. I didn't say it's been setting the world on fire. It's been doing okay. All right, so, well, Robert was right in the sense that it wasn't really going to be that much of a contest. I got a little confused, though, at first because I thought one was the one and one was the other. But like I said, I hope I'm wrong because this cheap one should not be tasting that much more luxurious and rich than the expensive one. Well, the relatively expensive one. I mean, you know what I mean. the regular price one. You know, $34 is like a normal price for scotch. $8.50 is a oddly low price. So yeah, all right, okay, this makes sense. So Clan MacGregor Buchanan wins the contest, and then in 2 days, God willing, 2 days we'll do another taste challenge, and we'll put Buchanan's up against. Well, I got it on my schedule list. I can't remember. That's why I make a list, because I can't remember. All right. Thanks for watching this video production. Fascinating challenge, in my opinion. You might not agree, but I think it was really something. I can't wait. You know, I just want to do one after the other. But obviously, you better not drink a bunch of scotch all in one day. I don't think that'd be too smart. Thanks for watching this video production.